What's up, y'all? How y'all doing this morning? And we got a good topic this morning because some information came to pass last night. And it's a doozy. We got a big one today, y'all. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's not wait. Let's get to it. What we got? Biden pardons Biden. We got Joe Biden pardoning Hunter Biden. President Donald Trump's take on the whole situation. Donald Trump's new take on another promise that he put in for us, which was what he promised to do about Social Security. What we're going to talk about with that. DACA recipients are worried that their protection may be taken away under a Trump term. That and many more stories today on The Bottom Line. It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me today, I appreciate you. So without any further ado, let's run back a little bit of history of what Biden said before when he said he wasn't gonna pardon his son. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Top of the morning to everybody. Don't know what you guys did over the weekend, but I hope you had a good one. This Monday morning, we bringing it live to you guys. And we're gonna go back and do a little bit of history before and bring it up to now. This was the claims that the White House had made earlier in the year when the question was asked, would President Biden pardon his son if it was necessary?
It can be prevented.
At that time, I don't know if you guys remember, but what they were saying was, no, President Biden says he's not going to pardon his son, no matter what you guys are saying. He's not going to pardon his son, no matter what. This is what they were saying back then. If you guys remember, that's exactly what they were saying. Technical difficulties, guys. Technical difficulties. What they basically were saying was he was not going to pardon him at all. That's what was going on. I got glitches in the system right now, but hopefully I get over it and I can deal with it. For some strange reason, it's not giving me audio right now. Try to get back to it again. Let me unmute this. You know, I got three things I got to do. I got to turn it on, and then I got to hurry up and unmute it because it's on mute. There we go. And it keeps on going by, but it's a fast quote. But I really want you guys to hear it because, you know, she was really trying to bring it home that they were not going to pardon, Hunter. But all of a sudden, seems like everybody's changed their mind on that front, especially when it comes down to your son having to be judged under a Donald Trump presidency.
Let me go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Well, is there,
I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So yeah, as you could see back then, they were basically saying that in July of 2023 that he had no plans of pardoning his son. I don't know if you guys can recall, but this is not the only time that Biden is not held accountable on his claims. First, he said that he was not going to drop out of the race. Also said that they were not going to drop out of the wars a certain way. as we can see, he's not really a president that keeps his word. This has been something that Democrats have been having a problem with for a number of years, where leaders have promised things but have not been held accountable for what they've promised, or even tried to do the things that they promised that they were going to do. So without any further ado, let's see what Trump has to say about this. He didn't have too much. There's not too many quotes about it, but he did say something in a brief article that I did find here. Where it says that Trump responded There we go. It's called political injustice. So Biden pardons his own son, pours fuels on Trump's claims of politicizing justice. This is on CNN Politics this morning. So Donald Trump basically says that this fuels claims of politicized justice. So basically it's like, do what you can because you're the president and you see your son's doing something wrong. You know that he's going to get in trouble for it. You know that he's about to be brought up on charges. So instead of letting him go get his smack on the hand like you promised, you're not holding accountable to that. So this is the only thing I don't like about people. Even when I do something wrong, I like to be held accountable because it makes me a better person because I can check myself. That's why bullies were not so bad back in the day. Depending on how far they bullied you, on what they did. I'm not going to say it's okay to bully because it's not. But people are really soft nowadays is what I'm really trying to say.
That clip.
Let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
You have.
And so
yeah.
obviously, I think that's when he was running for re-election and the political environment was very different for him. You, as someone who has covered him for years, walk us through kind of his thought process, how he thinks about these things. We know, per our reporting, that this was happening a lot of it over the weekend, but tell us more about kind of how you think he arrived at this decision.
Yeah, this is something that has been a great pain to Joe Biden for many years and was weighing on him as he decided whether to run for re-election and then was deciding whether to stay in the race earlier in the year. He believes that Hunter Biden was being prosecuted for these crimes because he put the spotlight on the Biden family by running for president. He put the spotlight on his son. He believes that there are things that Hunter has dealt with and in some way.
But many people also believe that Hunter was a funnel for monetary for political gain. So now that it's all over, his dad's going to get him out of it so that he doesn't have to stay in it. Because of what they did. This is not my saying. This is what people and different politicians and different, individuals, administrators. There's a lot of people that are saying, oh, now that you're cashed out and you're not going to be the president anymore, you're going to make sure you get your son out of there and you're going to take all of the money that you can and run with it because he's going to basically pardon his son. And there's not too much that you can do to a sitting president. But I still think that they probably have some stuff to worry about because there's a lot going on when it comes down to political weaponization, utilizing certain departments to investigate this person, go after this person. So there's a lot of that going on right now. And I can't honestly say that I don't see Donald Trump doing that as far as like now that, he's pardoned his son. I don't see that Donald Trump may not go after Biden now. In some sort of impeachment investigation looking forward. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Jackson, how you doing? Thank you, Steven. Hope you're good. My wife's boyfriend is sad. Kamala lost. Your wife's boyfriend. Feel sad for your wife's boyfriend there, Steve. Maybe you should go and make him some waffles. It's probably what he would like to have for breakfast this morning. What do you guys think about what's going on right now with Joe Biden pardoning, you know, pardoning his son for the crimes that he was that he was found, not even found guilty yet or sentenced for, to be honest with you, because what we're finding out is that he hasn't even been sentenced for these crimes, and these cases are still up. Apologize for the mishaps, y'all. Trying to clean the screen. It looks like it's got some type of glare on it, but it might just be me. I do apologize. You guys do know that my eyes are bad. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there. It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came to chill with me, I appreciate you. Let's get some more content. So now, we've got Joe, who finally pardoned his son. I think it's like, you know, think about it. You're not going to leave your son in a situation where he can be eaten by the lions. You're not going to leave him out there. So Joe's making a last ditch effort to get him out before it gets too nasty. So on that topic, let's go to the bottom line of what happened last night. What happened yesterday, actually, to make everybody have a whole bunch of, hoopla this morning. Everybody's talking about it. Why is everybody going crazy this morning about what happened yesterday? Because President Biden pardoned his son. The crazy thing about this is, you're going to hear about it in a couple of other videos, is the fact of the matter that he hasn't even gone to court yet. He hasn't been found guilty or anything. But the problem is that court case is going to take a long time, and it would have probably gone into 2025 when President Trump came into office. Biden didn't want to leave him in there under that administration, because he probably thought that, Trump was going to really come for his son. And I don't know, what about you guys? What would you do if it was your son? Would you take him out and make sure that he's pardoned, or would you let him stay there and face the justice system the way that he said he was going to do? Leave your comments and let me know what you guys think about it. What would you have done if it was your son?
Evening. We're coming on the air with breaking news, first reported by NBC News. President Biden has pardoned his son Hunter ahead of the end of his presidential term. That's according to a senior White House official with direct knowledge of the decision. Remember, Hunter Biden was convicted back in June on 3 separate felony charges related to his purchase of a gun in 2018, a time during which prosecutors say he was battling a drug addiction and lied about it on paperwork to get that gun. It was the first time a sitting president's child was convicted of a crime.
So the crime that he got convicted for was saying that he, wasn't under the influence of anything, and he actually signed that on a gun contract, and that's a federal crime, I guess. I don't know how much time you can get for something like that. I would honestly have to say it's not nothing too bad. I mean, it sounds too crazy, but if there's other things that are there, that doesn't sound too crazy to me. Just signing some paperwork to try to get some protection or whatever. But I think at that time he was on probation and he wasn't supposed to be carrying. That's probably the reason why. Because when you're on probation or when you're under jurisdiction of the law, you can't carry weapons and you can't bear arms.
Hunter Biden also pleaded guilty to federal tax charges in September. In that case, he was charged with 3 felony tax offenses and 6 misdemeanors, including...
Okay, so felony tax cases, that's a whole different situation. Rappers, Fat Joe, actors like Wesley Snipes that we know of, these people have evaded taxes and they actually went to prison for not paying their taxes. So yes, you can go to jail for not paying your taxes. The amount of time depends on how much money, and also depends on the amount of there's like a jurisdiction, so a certain amount of money, certain amount of time. So, and I think they still make you pay back like fines and stuff like that, even if you don't have to go to jail.
Tax evasion and filing a false return. NBC News has learned that this pardon is expected to cover both Hunter Biden's conviction and guilty plea. This marks a reversal for President Biden. Both he and White House officials have said repeatedly for a period of months that he would not pardon his son before leaving office. But tonight, the president has done just that. We will have much more coverage coming up on all of our NBC News platforms, including tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so he's done what he, again, said that he would not do. This is another reason, again, why a lot of the Democrats voted for Donald Trump, because they feel that Democrats are not being forthright when it comes to what they say and what they promise.
Ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
So, yeah, this is the reason
Welcome back to Sunday night.
why people are thinking like they are today, because that's totally different from what you heard him say. Judge Jeanine Pirro actually had a little bit of information about the topic. Let's see what she has to say about it.
She's like a sister to me, and she also has plenty to say always. In fact, she never has it. She never has enough time to get it all in. So
step back for a minute, and as he attacks everyone for, his son's wrongdoing, we have to recognize that it was his own Department of Justice that indicted his son. But they indicted his son after leaving the highest earning years of money that he made when he was working with some of these foreign countries, so he wouldn't have to pay back so much. But
so the thing about the foreign countries is what they're really trying to say is he was a funnel for the big guy. If you guys look into the case with Ukraine and various companies that Hunter was on the board of, he was getting these astronomical checks, and they were saying that the money was being funneled to the big guy, whoever the big guy is. So if you're the son, who's the big guy? So they're basically saying that he was a funnel for checks to go to the president. And now that it's all over, he's basically covering his butt. That's what people are saying, not me. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about it? Hi, how's your day? I'm going good. Felicio, My Bad by Kamala, Biatches, Trump 2025, y'all got MAGA. LGBTQ, let's get back Trump quickly. Paul South say it's the new Black Lives Matter. Raymond Anderson, put both of them in jail. Clinton is the best. Pedro says Clinton is the best. How you guys doing? If you like the content, please. We only need 45 more people to get to 20,000 subscribers. Let's go. Come on. Let's get them 20,000 subscribers. I appreciate that. Come on, y'all. Let's keep it going.
more importantly, so it wouldn't tie in Joe Biden, as it was clearly was evidenced by a lot of the emails and information we found out. So that's the number one thing. I think we have to recognize that Joe Biden's complaining. It's his own Department of Justice who did him a solid with that initial fake deal that couldn't pass muster with a federal judge. And then, he ends up getting a real sweet deal in any event. So, and for those prosecutors who say they would never prosecute these kinds of cases, I wholeheartedly disagree. They do. You don't look at a federal statute and say, gee, they wrote the law, but, he's a good guy. He's not a good guy. He had the gun when he was showing himself off, unclothed, which that's a moral issue and not a legal one, but with the drugs and the hookers, which kind of adds to it. But more importantly, the idea that people don't go to prison for a tax evasion is kind of crazy. They do all the time. And finally, I think that, with this whole thing about the pardon, this pardon, remember, is before the sentence, before he served his term. Finally, I think the sentence, before he served his term. And Americans need to understand that a lot of people get pardoned after they've, served their time, paid their debt to society.
Yeah, so he hasn't even served his term yet. He hasn't got convicted. He hasn't even got sentenced or anything. And his dad is already swooping in. Whoop! Let me go ahead and pardon my son. But I can't lie and tell you I wouldn't have did the same thing. Gotta be honest with you. Gotta be honest with you.
The White House insisting the president will not let his son off the hook.
From a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No, I could say that it is still very much unknown to the questions that I've gotten about if the president's going to pardon his son.
Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
President Biden says that he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter. Is he going to ask Donald Trump to do that?
I've been very clear. The president's been very clear when we've been asked this question.
Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins me now. Very clear, Joe. Clear as mud.
Yeah. Karine Jean-Pierre, she's going to be great on The View. Isn't she, Todd? I mean, she's going to be worked in that rotation, no doubt.
Yeah, so that's basically what's going on, y'all. Can y'all believe it? I mean, we also have to understand the nature and the climate that we're in nowadays. You know, it's tit for tat. I don't like you, you don't like me. And every single thing comes to that. It comes to party and what you believe in. And if you're not in my party, I'm not gonna let your laws pass. When it's not fair, because the majority of things that we need to be passed help us all. Okay, we're talking about a pardon today. What would you do if it was your son? Would you pardon your son? So don't be so rough on it. Don't be so rough on people. We live in life and we're taking this as it goes, and it's just another situation that happened, you know? Another thing that's going on is DACA. Recipients of DACA. Right now, DACA recipients are very nervous because they feel like the paperwork and the legalities that they've been given may not be honored under a Trump term. They feel that Trump might go back on the paperwork and might go back on the agreements for letting people that are DACA recipients stay in the United States under their work visas. What we've got here is DACA recipients are worried that the protection from deportation won't last another Trump term. You know, in Phoenix, Arizona, we got people that were here about 10 years legally, and they are migrated into the U.S. A lot of people have actually been here the right way, and they feel as if, like, you know, when I say the right way, they have come through the borders the correct way. They're waiting for their paperwork to be cleared. And it just has not been done yet. What do you guys feel about DACA recipients who are in fear of losing their national ability to stay here? Because that's a possibility, which I do have something to say about it. I don't think that that's right, because they came here the right way. They tried to, you know, they came through the borders the correct way. They submitted their paperwork. I believe that that should not be a situation that they're dealing with, because it's not fair. Illegal people crossing the border illegally, I think that's a little bit different. But, you know, who am I to say? Who am I to judge about anything? Also, I wanted to talk to you about something that you guys may or may not be interested in, but I do think that it's important, because it has to do with our money, and it has to do with two changes that Donald Trump wants to make to Social Security. This will, will 2026 be the year they become reality? So the issue that I'm talking about here is, you know, right now there's a threat that there won't be enough money for Social Security for when you get of age, of a retirement age. You won't be able to have your Social Security. So that's a major issue that we're having right now, where many people are worried about, and I would be too. Why am I out here working my butt off to get to the age of 65 when I can't even get any money once I get to that age? Ron DeSantis tried to be slick and move the age up to 70 years old for retirement, which is crazy, because we want to be 70 years old working. Trump didn't go for that. That was something that they were talking about doing when they were having a debate. What his plan is two things. Here we go. This is what Trump's plan is on trying to save Social Security. Eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits. There's about 40% of individuals paying federal taxes on their Social Security benefits. I don't even think that makes sense because it's bad enough they're already getting funding from the government. Why are you taxing it? So that's a good idea. Okay. Bolster Social Security finance through more oil and gas drilling. That's right. I'm going to go right to this last paragraph right here where I quoted what Ron DeSantis wanted to do, and he wanted to raise the age for Social Security. But Trump basically said that the U.S. has liquid gold, oil, and gas that could be used to bolster the program's finances. He said the country could also pay down its national debt by increasing oil and gas drilling. So I am all for this because I love my grandparents, I love old people, and come on now. Who wants elderly people to be working to their 70-something years old in order to enjoy the fruits of their life? I mean, like, how much more time do you have before life is over? And to be honest with you, what's the promise that you're even gonna make it to 70 years old? So with that being said, no. 70 years old, out of the question. I'm not trying to work till I'm 70 years old before I retire. I know none of y'all are because we can't even enjoy ourselves. Excuse the New York City siren, but we are in New York City. It's pretty nice outside today, but it's a bit cold. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hope you had a good holiday. Back to work. It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC. And like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. We done for the day. Hopefully we find some fantastic topics a little later that I can cover. I was thinking about covering these political people like Congress people, Nancy Pelosi, and covering the fact that they multimillionaires and before they came into office, they were not. There's a lot of people in Congress and that are in government that are multimillionaires that were only multimillionaires when they became governors, senators, and people that are in Congress. And we notice that certain laws that pass go along with the stocks that they invest in. I wanted to cover that topic and see what you guys thought about that. That seemed pretty intriguing. I could also cover music and other things too, but I like to stay on things that are going to help us and keep us well informed. The last thing that I will tell you is I do like to stay informed on the topic that I just spoke about, which is people in government, in Congress, in the Senate that actually trade stocks. There is an actual app out there that you can actually use to mimic their stocks. I think that's an app that I'm going to go look for because if they're investing in certain stocks, I may as well invest in the same stocks that they're investing in because they're making millions. Why not mirror what they're doing? 45 more people until we get to 20,000. I love you guys. I love the comments. I love to see you guys active here. Give me some more topics. We're going to cover them. And like I said, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. I know I keep saying it, but I appreciate y'all crazy for coming. This is Big Drip, 14% alcohol by volume, raspberry, grape, lemon, all grain neutral spirits. Phenomenal taste. This is 14%. You only need one. Big taste, big flavor, big punch. Big Drip. Go check us out at www.drinkbigdrip.com. And until tomorrow, like I always tell you, see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Get 'em! 1.